Hello, welcome to Paleo Greenbird. I'm Greenbird. I hope you're doing awesome. I know I am, even though just before this video I took a beautiful, gorgeous piece of petrified wood, which would have made a beautiful spear point or an arrow point. It was kind of small. Turned it to complete trash and dust. Very sad about that, but hey, you know, that's part of napping. It's unfortunate. I wish I could have, showed that video because it is such a precious piece of material. Something about making a arrow point that will, that you can hunt with, that originated from something that was also living, is a little bit magical, all on its own. But today we're going to do the next episode. I believe it's episode 8 of the Dacite Tool Challenge. I think I need to adjust my camera just a little bit. So, we're going to take another tool today, and I think I just need to clarify, not just with myself, but just in general, that I know that the point of this challenge is to take as many tools as possible, but not just as many, but it's more of a count of how many we take, because, I mean, we could take a million itty-bitty bird points out of this, but let's just see how many functional tools we can take. We've made some bird points, we've made some big game hunting points, have a little bit of everything, and today I would like to take another flake that would let us make a larger point. So I think what I'm going to do is just trim this side up a little bit. I mean, technically some of these little flakes that I'm taking off, you could glue those into, a stick that has a groove into it, because they are blades. But, even back in the day, those would be considered trash. They would go through their trash pile to make those tools, but we're not going to get too caught up in all of that. You can tell I'm just taking off small pieces. I'm not taking off a lot. Alright. Oh, we're starting to get there. That's kind of a larger chunk than I would have wanted, but that happens. Looking at this rock. Take off too much, let's just see what we got here. Get the grinder stone out just to really let us know what we have here. Again, I'd like to take off this thick edge here, but I feel like my good platforms are in other places, so we'll see. Although there's a really good one right there. Maybe we'll focus on this platform right here. That should thin off some good material there. I'm going to hit it high. So, I'm going to zoom in on it this time. flake we got. There are more to come off of this rock, but this one right here is more than thick enough to produce an arrowhead. Scraper or whatever the heck we want, but I think today it's going to be an arrowhead. So I'm going to back up. Oh, maybe I'm right. Let's just see how we can do. There we are. Take my hammer stone and just kind of get rid of all that weak stuff. All the way around. Just to see what wants to be an arrowhead and what just needs to rest in peace. You can see our bulb of percussion is right here. That's the platform we took. That's the bulb of percussion. Platform, bulb of percussion. We've got this flake strengthened and pretty much to the point where everything on there is workable. Alright, so I have my rock here. I'm going to try and determine what's going to be the tip of the point. Got this big bulb of percussion right here. It kind of wants to be the tip of the point, but definitely needs some reduction. So let's start with that. Trying to find that lowest point, which is in this case right here. Not sure if you can see that or not, but it's right there. Try and take this bulb of percussion out. And thin it down so it can become the tip of the point. Based on everything else, that's what it wants to be. And it's going to need a ton of shaping. There we go. It's kind of thinning. Just thinning. Just trying to take off that bulb of percussion and thing it from both sides as best I can, just to try and get it flat. It's tricky. A lot of times it's worth it just to skip that part and go to another angle where you can make a point without having to deal with that bulb of percussion. You can just flank it off. Who knows? I might end up doing that. Yeah, so I think we're going to make this bulb of percussion a base. Reduce it from there instead of the tip. Trying to trim these edges down, trying to get myself a little bit of a shape right now. Now that I know what I want the piece to look like as far as the shape is concerned. Just trying to do some thinning of what makes sense in that process. Some of these thick spots, I don't want them there, so now is a good time to try and get rid of them while I'm shaping. I'm going to have to thin them down in the finishing process anyway, but might as well get the shape as close to what I'm looking for as possible before I have to do that. Taking the shape of this point, you can see it's starting to become more point-like looking. Still very, very rough, but it's getting there. Got a real high spot right here. That's going to need some addressing. Maybe first from the base. Now I got a big hump right here. I need to make myself a platform so I can try and drive that big high spot off. So I might even make myself an isolated platform here. Haven't seen me done that, have you? Because I don't like them. But sometimes it pays off to isolate. I'm thinking this is one of those times. Oops. There. That. Still have a little platform left. That's good. One more left. I love continuous platforms. Alright, let's break out the grinder. Everything kind of in order. So we can see what needs to happen next. Big thick spot right here on this side. Need to address that. Not sure. So I'm going to take this. I think I'm going to drop down to a smaller nail. A decent flake. Get there. Just trying to take every platform that I have before I grind and start over. Even on the base. Some good flakes there. Just keep going with it. Every time I flip this over, I'm looking for thick spots. Where do I need to take the stone from? I can see a couple spots, but I need to grind. my center line is not really matching on both sides, so I need to be cognizant of that. Start bringing that into shape. One side's a way lot lower than the other side. Nothing I can't fix, but I do need to start thinking about it. Raise that edge up. Don't even want to worry about, you know, making the arrowhead until I have a biface or bifacial flake that is, you know, even on both sides, so that once I start to make that shape, at least I know it's shaping in a form that's going to be my end result. Got to get the center line in the beginning and then the shape at the end. You can't do it the other way around. At least I can't. It doesn't work for me. Not driving flakes that far. We have a good platform. Fix that. Got a thick side here. I'm just trying to take some flakes that will run across there and fix that. That's to set up a platform. So I make downward strokes. I'm doing that because I want that platform to be on this side. So I'm making the flakes this way, so that when I flip it over, now my platform's going to drive off flakes in the direction that I have intended. The other side. Alright, a little frustrated with my results. So what I do when that happens is I grind. Got a thick side over on this edge. Wish I could get that thick side off. I have a hard time with it. I have some good platforms right here. I should be able to do it. See how that edge is real thick? Try and drive it off that platform right there. See what happens. Around more, that's why I'm slipping. I think I'm going to jump up to that bigger sized flaker too. More surface space to grab, that's why. That worked. this. So now we're going to start doing some shaping. Just trying to get that arrowhead type shape. I'm going to do it on the sides that I feel leave me more advantageous platforms for future thinning. So obviously, thick side being up, so that when I make those flakes and they create those smiles, those are platforms for me to thin running the other direction. Let's grind it, go across the other side. Let's see what we can do to thin a little bit. And we're just going to do what we can. And we're going to have to do a point. That's what we have to do. So we're going to end up with a thicker point here, but that's alright. It's going to be a good hunting point. Taking these flakes and I'm shaping at the same time. And this is going to be a thicker point. It's not going to be a good flake point. I do seem to see that I'm struggling with these flake points. I can make a decent bifacial point out of a rock, but when it comes to these flakes, I am still struggling a little to get things right. I'm thinking maybe I need some more experience on some bottle bottoms or something that has an odd shape to it, because I am definitely not getting these shapes the way I want them to be. But it's part of the learning process, and these are still going to be really good points. I mean, what will I show you? Just got to try and keep an eye on everything, make sure that if you are getting it thick on one side, just make sure that it's as symmetrical as you can. You know, maybe you can make it a little bit thicker on the other side. See, I've already brought this point to a little bit more symmetry just by thinking about that. Yeah, alright, we're getting there. We're getting the center line. Takes a little bit of work. No, I'm not really showing a whole lot of what I'm doing and why I'm doing it. This series has been a little bit less about, you know, showing you what I know works and more about showing you things I'm trying. So, still really cool. Make sure that you post stuff in the comments too. If there's things I should be doing better, or that I'm doing wrong, or that I'm doing awesome, post them in the comments so that I know. Because this is a journey for me. I'm not trying to teach anybody how to do this. I'm showing you how I'm doing this based upon what I've learned and what skills I have currently. So, hopefully you enjoy that part of the series, because you know, I can show you things of what I think you should do, but there are a lot of people out there that have a lot more experience than me. I'll switch down to my smaller flaker because I want to try and take some small, long flakes. Got some really, really thick spots there. I'm going to grind this. I think it's time. All that annoying stuff off there that it's just basically an illusion. You see it and you think it's the point, but it's not. It's never going to be there. So you might as well just get rid of it so you know what you need to do to finish the point. It's amazing how different it looks after you get rid of all that trash. I'll tell you that. Alright. This side's a little bit on the large side, so I'm going to do some real small flakes. Just some fine-tuning flakes. Almost like what we would be doing if we were to sharpen it, but we're not sharpening it. Just making it kind of even out a little bit. So that some of the inconsistencies in the shape are removed. Just looking for opportunistic flakes to straighten this out. I'm not doing a lot of major shaping at this point. At least I'm not. I'm sure there are people that could. Alright, so what do we have so far? We're getting there. Just trying to take little nibs off at this time, just to take off the parts of the stone that are a little unsymmetrical. At this point, I'm keeping a pretty good focus on the tip and the shape, because with these tiny little points, we're pretty much creating the end result. Just trying to keep my center line too. I take these flakes off, making sure they're flaking so that I do have a center line, because that's really the most important thing. Even if your point is a little bit wonky, if it has a good center line, you know, it still has a decent chance of being a good point. If it doesn't, it's not gonna, you know, penetrate well. You'll get some twisting, which sounds cool, but reduces the kinetic energy of your point, because the energy is going from forward to twisting. So even though it sounds kind of cool that your point will twist inside the target, it's not a bonus. It's pretty close to finished. I have a kind of rounded off point to it. This isn't going to be a hunting point, so I'm not sure that I really want to put a sharp point on there, but maybe we'll go just a little bit sharper than what we have. It's just fun to get those points that they have a really sharp tip. Even though you're not gonna hunt with them, it's just fun. But you don't want anybody getting hurt, so you can't have them too sharp. Just sharp enough so that when people look at them, they're like, wow, this is really sharp. Flakes and let's grind it. I know what you're thinking. You're probably thinking, oh, it gets so sharp and then you grind it off. What's the point of that? Well, if you're going to sharpen it, you're going to start with a ground off surface anyway. If you're really going to sharpen it. We're doing pretty good. So far this is the point we have. This is the one side. This is the better looking side if I had to choose. I guess this is what it looks like. I think we're ready to put some notches in it. Almost done. Off this base again, and we're going to put side notches in this. We might put a base notch in too, but I think we might just stick with side notches since this is a relatively small point. I mean, it's still plenty big for hunting, but as far as support is needed to prevent the point from cracking, I'm not so sure we need a base point. Oh, I just blew that ear off. Why do I always do that? every single one of these videos. You guys must think I'm terrible at notching. Maybe you're right. I should make a dozen of these and then just spend a weekend notching them all. That's alright. Not a big deal. Over to the other side. Ooh, I got lucky on that one. I felt some really bad support. I thought I cracked that in half. I got lucky. These notches in here. Yep. So I'm just trying to keep these a little even. I know that the base, at this point, if you can see it, is not even close to, you know, symmetrical, and I could trim that off right now just to make it easier when I'm judging those notches, but I'll do that. And then while I'm at it, I might as well shorten it up so it comes back into, you know, what would be a good notch. You don't want those notches super high. You want them towards the back, towards the lower end of the base. Otherwise, you're just having a ton of the base rock into the shaft of the arrow or spear, and I don't know how that would affect it. That might, you know, that might contribute to it splitting because there's so much mass in there. I don't really know. Got that relatively even. Now I'm going to continue to work on those notches to make them match. Too bad. I'm almost happy with it. Just need to clean up that kind of off symmetry of that blown off ear. it's kind of difficult to do that. Little tiny bits. I'm just taking off little tiny bits to try and make stuff match at this point. Because I mean, I'm pretty much done, other than just making everything look the same. When I go back and forth like this, what I'm doing is basically the equivalent of grinding. I'm just taking off all those weak edges that don't really want to be there. So I can see, so I can get a good, you know, picture of what my symmetry looks like. How symmetrical are my ears? What needs to be trimmed up? Although it's not perfect, this might be close enough to where I am going to call it done before I end up screwing it up. That's a little better. Alright, because this is not intended to be hunted with right away, I don't want anybody to get hurt. Take my grinding stone, grind this off. And everything I can. Maybe this will help from my bindings from being cut. I don't know. Maybe it's all in my head. This will toughen up my edges so that when I sharpen this, if I want to sharpen it to be a useful point, it is has strong edges to be worked. So this was kind of a long video. Apologize, but I think we're going to call this done. Oh, this is what the point looks like. with me holding it. This is what it looks like with me holding it end to end. And this is what it looks like in my hand. That's the good side. That's the not so good side. But that's okay. We can put an edge, we can put a point on this, but until next time, I think we got our 8th point, I believe. So, this is Paleo Greenbird, and I hope you're having an awesome day. Please do. And I am signing out.